Apple may be about to pull one of its fastest moves yet. Something unusual happened recently. The official video about the M4 Mac Mini was quietly removed from Apple's YouTube channel. At the same time, the videos for the M4 MacBook Pro and the M4 iMac stayed online. That is strange. It has already started conversations. People are asking if this means Apple is preparing to move away from the M4 Mac Mini much sooner than anyone thought. Could an M5 Mac Mini really arrive as early as this October? If so, that would be one of the quickest turnarounds we've ever seen for a Mac Mini refresh. The Mac Mini has always been a quiet success. It is not flashy like the iPhone. It is not a status symbol like the MacBook Pro. It does not have the colorful personality of the iMac. Yet, for many years, it has been one of Apple's most versatile machines. The appeal of the Mac Mini comes from its balance. It is affordable compared to other Macs. It adapts to almost any setup, whether that's on a desk, under a monitor, or even hidden away. And with the right specifications, it can handle much more than just web browsing. Creative work, coding, and even professional workloads are possible if you configure it correctly. That makes it a favorite for people who want power without paying for a Mac Studio. Now the story moves forward. Insiders have spotted identifiers for what appears to be an M5 Mac Mini. Not only that, but there are also identifiers for an M5 Pro version. That means Apple could be preparing two new Mac Mini models, one with the base M5 chip and one with the more powerful M5 Pro. On paper, that sounds obvious. But with Apple, nothing is guaranteed. They have skipped chip generations before. The Mac Mini never received the M3 or M3 Pro. It jumped directly from the M2 Pro to the redesigned M4 version. So, the discovery of these identifiers is meaningful. It confirms Apple is keeping the Mini on pace with the rest of the Mac lineup. But what should we expect from the M5 itself? This is where things get interesting. Reports suggest the M5 will use TSMC's new M3P manufacturing method. In simple terms, that means the chip will be more efficient and slightly faster. But don't expect miracles. The jump is likely in the range of 15 to 25% over the M4. That's good, but it is not revolutionary. It is more of a steady step forward than a giant leap. That leads to the bigger question: is this upgrade worth it? For most people, probably not. If you bought an M4 Mac Mini recently, you will not suddenly feel left behind. A 15 to 25% boost sounds impressive on paper, but in daily life it may not change much. Web browsing, productivity tasks, light creative work, even coding will all feel just as smooth on the M4. You won't wake up one day and find that your M4 is suddenly slow just because an M5 exists. The people who will care the most about the M5 are those working in demanding fields. If you edit 8K video, work with 3D rendering, or run complex simulations, every bit of extra performance matters. In those cases, the M5 Pro model especially could be a game changer. It would allow workstation-level performance in a box that is still small, quiet, and easy to hide away. But this is a very specific audience. For most buyers, the real story of the M5 is what it will do to the price of the M4. The M4 Mac Mini was released in October 2024, starting at $599 with 16 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage. That was already considered aggressive pricing by Apple's standards. But now, discounts are appearing. In some places, the base model has dropped to $499, and the trend is continuing. With the M5 on the horizon, those prices will likely fall even further. That is fantastic news for budget-conscious buyers. Because the M4 Mac Mini is not a bad machine. It's actually one of the best value Macs Apple has sold in years. It came with a brand new design, the first redesign since 2010. The Mini became smaller, sleeker, and more practical. The Pro versions even added front-facing USB-C ports and Thunderbolt 5 support, which made them far more flexible. This means the M4 is already a great choice. Add falling prices into the mix, and it becomes a smart buy for almost everyone. So, unless you absolutely need the extra performance of the M5, the smarter move may be to grab an M4 at a discount. You will be getting around 90% of the performance for far less money. That's a big deal. Apple does not usually lower official prices of older Macs when a new one launches. But retailers almost always do. And the closer we get to the M5's release date, the more discounts you will see. Apple's refurbished store will also start to fill with M4 units at even better prices. When it comes to design, don't expect much to change. Apple redesigned the Mac Mini in 2024 after 14 years of keeping the same look. The new design is still modern, still sleek, and still one of the best compact desktops around. It is too soon for Apple to refresh it again. The M5 models will almost certainly use the same exterior as the M4. The changes will all be under the hood. That means the real story is the silicon, not the shell. And that is fine. Not every generation needs to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes the best value comes from small, steady refinements. The important part is that the Mac Mini is staying active in Apple's product roadmap. During the Intel years, it often felt forgotten. Now it's clear Apple sees the Mini as an essential part of the lineup. At the same time, the M5 rollout is not just about the Mac Mini. This is part of Apple's broader strategy. Other devices will also move to M5 soon. The iPad Pro is one example. It received a big redesign in 2024 with an OLED display and a thinner chassis. The next update will be smaller, mostly adding the M5 chip. Reports say these iPad Pro models are already in mass production for a late 2025 release. The MacBook Pro and iMac are also expected to join the M5 wave in early 2026. But if we zoom back in on the Mac Mini, the key takeaway is clear. The M5 models will offer a small performance bump, but the biggest benefit for most people is the price drop it will cause for the M4. If you want the absolute latest, the M5 will deliver efficiency, a little extra speed, and longer software support. But if you want value, the M4 at a discount is the smarter choice.